Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ghost of Sparta. Sorry for the couple of days delay, but we're back and we are basically out of Atlantis now, and we're back here where we were at the start of the game, but it's a bit more wrecked. But we can cross this bridge now. And this basically is where Thanatos lives, and I do think it's a quite a nice looking area.
The domain of death. A dark netherworld, nestled between the land of the living and the realm of the dead. A purgatory, ruled by the god of death, Thanatos.
So yeah, it's very dry and whatnot compared to Atlantis, and we get some more items there, which we'll be using after this playthrough, basically. And there are some things to break off here, so we can climb over the chasm. And that move right there is actually pretty nice. Probably should have used it more, because I think it can stagger small enemies. But if we head on over here, we get to fight more dudes. And I think this is where the game does get into actual hard territory now. Because I mean, you've got these fast dudes here, which, like I say, I mean, hard mode they considerably just wreck you because of that skidding move there, where they just put you on the ground. But luckily with the Minotaur there, you can sort of ignore him, because unless he charges, you don't really have to do much. But once he's down, it's not so bad, because the other guys are okay, especially with the arms for Sparta. As you see there, that's what the volley does, which is quite nice. And I do believe if there are at least two enemies next to each other, they will get like hit as well. So I can imagine it's pretty useful for the bird enemies. And he was nice enough to hit those guys for us as well. There's always a danger of pressing the wrong button there whenever the Minotaur charges, just because I've done it just many times where I've just been hammering the square button and I've just completely forgot. But with those dudes taken care of, just this last Minotaur here, who does a good job of hitting me as I'm dodging away. The old 3-poke move never fails. As you see from here, all my my weapons are done, basically, so it's just a case of upgrading my magic now throughout the rest of the playthrough. And we get these annoying things here, which are just a way to slow us down a bit. But just gotta use your Pharaoh's Bane just to burn them down. They can be a bit of a nuisance, especially on hard mode. I think they can do a bit of damage to you. But just try and roll away before you get hit. And an easier way, just doing this is just to chuck some spears at the birds instead of getting involved with them. And we got a nice amount of red orbs for that. And if you were running out of magic, the amount of dead birds then would have given you quite a bit of magic. And the Scourge of Berenice is a good one to upgrade. Just because you'll get a bit more health. And it does more damage, which is nice. Although I don't think I'll show off something you can do with the Scourge, where if you cast it 3 times in a row, it makes like a planet-sized ball of it, and it'll just completely destroy enemies. It was really handy on hard mode. And here, there's bird spawns. This looks quite similar to Seller's Tentacle. If we just hit her enough with the Thera's Bane, he'll go away. And if we head up here, we get more enemies to fight. And again, this is one of the more difficult ones, because I really do hate those enemies just because of the way they can just constantly grab you and stun you. So if you're doing this in hard mode, I would seriously advise you to use your Arms of Sparta as much as possible, because it does a good amount of damage, and the Scourge of Berenice. But I did find this part to be just tough on hard mode. I mean, especially with the birds coming at you. Even when trying to circle take them down, you can still end up taking quite a bit of damage just from them and just hitting you and the other people around you. But when you're as good as parrying like me, it's not so bad. Then again, I could have just made it easy mode with the arms. But then it's always fun to do things like that. And it's not so bad once you've got rid of all the birds. Got a bit more breathing room. And I think once you're done with this part, I mean, the game, you're basically we're on the home stretch of the game at the moment. And it doesn't really get much harder, I think. As you can see, I mean, compared to the Chains of Olympus, it does have a bit more content to it. Although, I mean, I think the game is around maybe 5-6 hours long compared to Chains of Olympus's 4 hours. So, what we're going to do here is basically just move this block. Not that one, because you can't move her any further. Is basically this one. And because this has got a nice pushing mechanic, when you do start pushing it just gets quicker and quicker, rather than going at the same slow pace. Which is just so, like, handy to have. It's really the worst thing about going back to, like, some of the earlier games. And we've got ourselves another chest. That would have had a feather in it, but we've got all those upgrades. I'm sorry about that. I think something happened in the editing of the video, so at least it's not a long couple of seconds. Otherwise, if it would have been a long black screen, I probably would have edited it out, but it should be okay for a couple of seconds. And here we've got some dogs who are just taken down incredibly easily with the arms of Sparta. And they just seem like a bit of a random place to have them. And you could have just taken them down quick enough just with the circle move.
Of death. A place neither mortal nor god had dared enter. Worshipped long before the Olympians, Thanatos, the god of death, dwelled within.
And you probably guessed right, we can't just go in there. But we have to fight these guys first. Some armoured cyclopses, which are pretty easy mode with their armour on, just because of Thara's Bane. We can easily just hack it off and explode it off. And we do get quite a bit of health every time we take off some of the armour as well, which is nice, considering there's a health chest here anyway. And then you can easily take these guys down then with the arms of Sparta, although normally I think I'd probably prefer to use the blades of Athena, because you've got a bit more breathing room for when they do their attacks. And we get greeted with some soldiers. But we can get rid of this Cyclops, and soldiers aren't too bad then. We get ourselves a bunch of red orbs for that. And I didn't notice until this is actually some pretty good music. And that's why I do like to use the blades, but it gets taken down so quick with these. And this should be the last man now, unless some, yeah, and there we go. So you've got some access now, even closer to where Thanatos lived. So yeah, a bit more stuff about Kratos, and that's our point of no return now.
You dare defile my...
And I'll leave it at that for now, and we'll be continuing through the Temple of Thanatos next time. and hopefully be finishing off the rest of the game in the next 2 videos, so I'll see you guys then.